woods was thick, humid, and unnervingly still. Not a single leaf rustled, not a bird chirped. It was the kind of silence that pressed in, making your own heartbeat sound like a drum. I'd come back, against my better judgment, to get those pictures. The Reddit comments had been a mix of "get out of there" and "you're crazy," but a part of me, a foolish, stubborn part, wanted proof. Or maybe, just maybe, a second encounter that would be less terrifying. The path to the clearing was overgrown. The one ID followed last time, now barely a suggestion of a trail. Sunlight dappled through the dense canopy, painting shifting patterns on the mossy ground. The mushrooms I'd found on my initial visit were gone, or perhaps never really there. The place felt wrong, not just quiet, but actively suppressed asterisk. Like the woods were holding their breath. I pushed deeper, the silence amplifying the crunch of my boots on dried leaves. Every shadow seemed to stretch and writhe, playing tricks on my eyes. I'd brought my camera, determined to capture the desolate beauty, the uncanny stillness. But as I raised it, a strange sensation crawled up my spine. A prickling awareness, like being watched by 1,000 unseen eyes. I took a few shots, the lens focusing on gnarled roots and ancient trees. The photos, I knew even then, would look perfectly normal. They wouldn't capture the oppressive weight of the atmosphere, the feeling that I was an intruder in a place that didn't want me. I found myself whispering to the camera, to the empty woods, trying to break the spell. Then I heard it, a soft, sibilant hiss, like wind through dry reeds. But there was no wind. It came from behind a thicket of ferns, just off the barely there path. My heart leaped into my throat. I froze, camera still in hand. I strained my ears, waiting for it to come again. It didn't. Slowly, cautiously, I crept towards the ferns. The air grew colder, a stark contrast to the oppressive humidity. My breath hitched. I parted the ferns, expecting to see, I don't know what, an animal, a peculiar plant. Instead, there was nothing. Just more trees, more shadows. But the feeling of being watched intensified, becoming a physical pressure against my skin. And then, from the very spot where I'd expected something, a sound. Not a hiss this time, but a voice. A child's voice, distorted, stretched thin, laced with an ancient malice. "We see you," it whispered, the sound seeming to originate from everywhere and nowhere at once. It was a sound that burrowed into your very bones, promising an eternity of unseen torment. It wasn't loud, not like a shout, but it resonated with a terrifying power, vibrating through the stillness. My vision blurred. The trees around me seemed to twist, their bark contorting into leering faces. The ground beneath me felt unstable, as if ready to swallow me whole. The camera slipped from my numb fingers, clattering to the forest floor. I didn't stop to retrieve it. I didn't look back. I ran. I ran as if the devil himself was at my heels, the distorted whisper echoing in my ears, a promise that this wasn't over. Not by a long shot. The woods had shown me something, and I knew with a certainty that chilled me to the marrow, that it would never let me forget. Hello, seekers of the strange. I'm Aqeela, and you've just stumbled into the Aqeela files. Did you really think you could just walk away from those woods? That whisper, it's still with you, isn't it? You can feel its eyes, even now. Don't turn off the video. It knows you're watching. Subscribe if you dare, but remember, some doors, once opened, can never be closed again.